In this video, I'll show you a few different examples of how Gullfoss can be used for mastering. So this first example is a country song, and as you can see just by looking at the waveform, it was mixed pretty hot. So the first thing I'm going to do is pull down the gain a bit, just to give myself a little bit more headroom on input going into Gullfoss. Let's give this a listen. So I'll roll up the recover and tame, and then adjust the bias control so that the bias meter is centered around its origin point. And I'll do the same for the brighten control and the brighten meter. So that's a good starting point, and it's already starting to tame some of the low mid-range resonances that are causing some mud in the mix. And also using a negative brighten control is really helping to control some of the unwanted brightness. This mix really has too much saturation and energy in the high end, so I want to tame this quite a bit. The high frequencies on the kick, snare, and hi-hats is just too much for this genre. So I'll pull down the recovery, pull up the tame, and then try a negative bias so that Gullfoss is a preference for taming rather than recovering. With mastering, it can just be small adjustments like this that can take a mix that's almost there and give it that little extra help it needs and rebalance the frequency response of the song in a nice musical way. So this next track is an alternative pop group, guitar, bass, drums, and vocals. And there's a bit of a mid-range haze over it. The mid-range just doesn't seem as clear as I'd want it to be. What I want is for the mid-frequencies in the mix to open up a bit, and I want to hear each instrument and the voice more clearly and individually, so I want more separation. Now I've already dialed in a setting here and it's helping out quite a bit, but I'm also going to use these range limiters on the left and right side here to focus the processing on just the mid-range. I like the bass and I like the airy high frequencies. It's the mids and mid-highs that I'm concerned about. Note that my tame setting is pretty high. If you have a really well-mixed song, don't be surprised if you're using values lower than 20% for your recover and tame values. However, if you have major frequency imbalances, unwanted resonances, or clarity issues like in this song, you may have to dial things in a bit more. This last example is a pretty aggressive hard rock group. Gullfoss works wonders on rock and heavy metal because the music is so dense with heavy guitar, drums, and guttural vocals. It's often difficult to tame this material when there's that much energy in a track. Fortunately, Gullfoss works best when you feed it a lot of information. This track was also mixed pretty hot, so I'm going to pull down the gain again just to give me a little more headroom to work with. So I used some pretty drastic recover and tame settings, but this song definitely needed it. Not only is the balance better, but the guitar tone has improved drastically. It doesn't have that fizzly solid-state amp sound anymore. Gullfoss has helped to pull out more of the mid-range tube tone on the amps. So there's a really heavy drum break toward the end of the tune. Let's give it a listen at this section, and I'll bypass Gullfoss a couple of times so you can hear the difference. So not only has Gullfoss helped with the guitar tone, it's also helped to bring out some clarity on those really fast drum fills. So those are just some examples of using Gullfoss for mastering. Keep in mind, these are just 3 examples, each with their own unique challenges. Every song you work on with Gullfoss will require its own unique settings to correct the song's unique issues. We hope this video has helped you to see and hear Gullfoss's potential as an extremely versatile mastering EQ. If you'd like to purchase Gullfoss or try it out for free, head over to ⑤SoundTheory.com. We hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.